Hello and salutations, my name is John Johnson and welcome to another episode of Let's Try. Now, this one's a little bit weird because I'm doing this post-commentary. Normally, when I do these Let's Tries, it's all live, my initial reactions, all that, but this one's a little bit different because it's a bit of a different game. This is the Elder Scrolls Online beta. This is the second beta. This is the first one they've released that didn't have the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement with it. So I'm able to make an actual video about it and all that. I've actually been streaming my gameplay of this throughout this entire past weekend. So if you're from that stream, welcome. I'm glad you found this. I'm just going to basically be going through and giving my general opinions of it and the pros and cons and all that stuff. So let's get started. First off, the pros. It's really pretty. This game, man, it looks so good. I mean, even if you haven't played any of the Elder Scrolls games, if you have no relation to the Elder Scrolls whatsoever, it still looks really good. The environments are very unique to the Elder Scrolls. You won't see them in any other MMO. And if you have, then they've probably been copying the Elder Scrolls series. So that's definitely something that I enjoyed and really, really like to see. The second good pro is definitely the character creation. I'm a sucker for good character creation in any kind of video game, be it fighting, MMO, you know, any sort of game, any sort of RPG, anything. Character creation is a big deal to me. And I honestly think the character creation in this game was some of the best I have ever seen. It's so incredibly detailed and there are so many options. That does have a negative side to it, but we're actually going to wait until cons to get to that, so we'll move on. Another good side, another thing I really enjoyed was the fact that the Elder Scrolls series lore is so deeply involved with it. I'm a big fan of the Elder Scrolls series. I have been for years now, since way back. And having that lore that I've not grown up with, but I've grown so attached to over the years, be inside of the MMO. You know, all the storybooks are there. The you know, the Nine Divines, the different Daedric stuff, all of it is there, and it's very, like I said before, with the general aesthetic of the game, it's very unique to Elder Scrolls, and it adds a definite experience to it. Everything is very detailed, especially the PvP area that takes place in Cyrodiil, which is from the Oblivion, for those of you that don't know the general naming and lore and all that. It's definitely extremely detailed. You have all these different siege weapons and everything else you can buy and upgrade, and you're all supposed to really be working together on this huge battlefront where you have these three sides going at each other. It's extremely fun, also extremely complicated, and I can see where it would take some people to get used to. Which, on that same subject, on the PvP area, it's really kind of unique, but not really. I've seen the system before. A good example is PlanetSide 2, which just came out about a year ago, I think, where it's one big battle. The whole map is gigantic. It took me 15 minutes to make it to not even go to the front lines of my area. To go halfway to the front lines took me about 15 minutes worth of walking. It is a gigantic map. And having all these people there fighting is definitely a good thing. It's definitely something I'm excited to see more of. But right now, since it is in the beta, there weren't that many people there because you have to get to level 10 before you can even get there. It's going to be really good when the game comes out, and assuming a lot of people buy the game, then it's going to be very fun and very unique to this game. Cons. The big no-no here, the big one that strikes everybody, myself included, is the fact that you have a buy price, immediate buy price, and on top of that, you have a monthly sub of, I believe, $15. That's a big turnoff. Definitely something that I think people should be wary of, and it takes a lot away from it. It really does, just knowing that you have to pay that much for it. Now, if it's one of those things kind of like WoW where you can pay it when you want to play it, you know, buy a month here, play it, and then don't buy a month for another 6 months or a year, something like that, I think I could handle that. I still don't particularly like it, and I don't really think it's necessary, but I think I can handle it. That wouldn't be that bad. It wouldn't be a deal breaker at the very least. Now, but on the subject of prices and all that, the character restrictions in the character creation. Now, I mentioned how good the character creation was and how much I loved it. The bad thing is, they have restrictions on your creation, which really, really is not good. The story of the game is based around 3 different packs, each pack having 3 different races inside of it. You can only play as one of those 3 races in that pack, and I think that's a big flaw. But the worst part is, you can actually pay to be able to be any race in there, and that's not good. To have that sort of pay for the benefit thing, I'm not a fan at all, and I really think that should go out the window. And maybe it will eventually. This is still the beta, so they're still, you know, getting reactions from the players and everything else. So hopefully we'll see that kind of going out the window, or at the very least maybe being let up a little bit. Maybe having it to where, you know, once you play for so long a character, you can create any race in any pack or something like that, or any sort of play to unlock instead of pay to unlock kind of thing. That would be very, very welcomed. Another one that's kind of not really a con, but kind of, is the difficulty. A lot of the difficulty right now is coming from glitches, which, as I mentioned, this is the beta, so glitches are to be expected. That's not a con at all. The glitches will be fixed by the time it comes out, hopefully. But the difficulty, it's kind of a steep little learning curve, especially I was playing as a mage character throughout most of my recordings here, and you could definitely tell that there were some issues with the mages. Playing as a mage character is not easy in this game. I felt like definitely if I was playing as a standard melee knight or something like that, it would have been a lot easier. Some of the bosses would have been a lot easier. There's one boss in particular, which I unfortunately didn't get any footage of, where it was impossible to beat by yourself. Not even just for a mage, but for anybody in general. You had to group with people and to even have a chance at beating this thing. It was insane. And on that note, actually, we can talk about the grouping system. Now, the grouping system is a little odd. You can have friends and invite them to your group and all that, but it's not necessary. It's almost like they tried to make a single-player MMO with optional grouping, if that makes any sense. The different areas, like the castles and the caves and stuff like that you can explore, are not on dedicated servers or anything. So it's not just you going through them. It's you and 15 other people doing the exact same quest that you're trying to do, which is a little distracting, honestly. It does end up helping a little bit with that difficulty thing I was talking about, because it doesn't have to necessarily be you. If there's a boss you have to kill, then all you have to do is land one hit, and as long as it dies while you're in the area, you'll get the credit for it as well, which is not great, honestly. It's one of those things, it's kind of like come see, come saw. I have no real strong feelings one way or the other on it, although I think I would probably prefer if me and my friends could go out and fight this thing together instead of, you know, me and 14 other random strangers. It's a little disorientating at first, but once you get used to it, you don't really notice it that much. If anything, you end up being thankful for it, because, like I said, it does help a little bit on the difficulty. And as for general comparisons to other MMOs, which I know everybody has been doing, I mean, it's an MMO. You can't deny that, and it definitely does some of the standard MMO tropes, like collection missions, which I'm not a big fan of, and stuff like that. You can tell it's an MMO. That said, the things that make it unique are the things that make it Elder Scrolls. So if you are an Elder Scrolls fan, I highly suggest it to you, just for the experience. Now, if you're not an Elder Scrolls fan, if you've never played an Elder Scrolls game, or you have no interest in open world games or anything like that, this one may honestly not be for you, because you'll just see it as another MMO. It has so much in common with a lot of other MMOs that it kind of doesn't really stand out that much unless you're paying attention to the Elder Scrolls elements inside of it. Like I said, the lore stands out, the aesthetic stands out, all that, but all those are things that are very definitive of Elder Scrolls, and it's great if you're a fan and you want to see those things, but if you're not a fan from the get-go, you're not going to notice it near as much. It's not going to stand out to you as much as it should. It does have a few unique things, like the PvP. Well, the PvP area is kind of unique. I mean, like I said, it's been done before with PlanetSide and a few other MMOs, but this is the first one that I've seen it done in this way. with the medieval and, of course, the Elder Scrolls setting and all that. It's unique enough to give a shot, I will say that. If you haven't played the beta and you're thinking about whether or not to get the game, if you're a big MMO fan, give it a shot. You know, maybe try it, and if you don't like it, then at the very least you won't have to keep paying the monthly subscription fee. If you're a big MMO fan. And also, if you're a big Elder Scrolls fan, definitely give it a shot. This game was made for Elder Scrolls fans, obviously. And if you're an Elder Scrolls fan, you're going to love it. And it's definitely going to be worth the pickup and the maybe even the monthly sub. Now, if you're looking for an introductory MMO and you have no experience with Elder Scrolls, the series, you may need to stay away from this one. It's not a very good introductory MMO. It does get complicated in some areas, and while the controls are definitely pretty standard for MMO these days, some of the more gameplay mechanics, especially in the PvP area, like the siege weapons and upgrading the forts and all that, can get really complicated. And even without getting too far into them, I could notice how complicated it was getting. So definitely be kind of careful about that if you don't have any MMO experience and you're looking just to get into an MMO. That's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much else to say. If you're an Elder Scrolls fan, give it a shot. If you're an MMO fan, give it a shot. If you're looking for something new, something to get yourself into MMOs, maybe try something a little bit lighter first and then move on to this. It's definitely good. That you can definitely tell the love from the creators that they put into this. And even though there are a few problems, especially with the character restrictions and the price and the monthly sub and all that, even with those flaws, it's definitely worth trying. I will say that much. Well, I know it was kind of short, but like I said, this wasn't really a normal Let's Try, but hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this and enjoyed hearing me ramble on about this game. I look forward to playing with you guys if you end up picking up, and I will see you guys next time. As always, like if you like, leave a comment, tell me what I did right, what I did wrong, subscribe if you want to see more, and please share with your friends. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Thank you.